Welcome everybody. This is the first jam session from Moyo AI. Thank you all for being here. I want to just very quickly go through, I think almost everybody here. I know you personally, but just in case, and also for people watching on recording, I am Moyo Okome. Um, can call me Mo as well. That's what my father-in-law calls me. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I My parents are Nigerian. That's a big part of how I grew up. I'm currently very passionate about developing with AI, as I'm sure most of you or many of you on the call are. In my business, I've done over 12 million downloads over the years on mostly on iOS, a little bit on Android. But a lot of those came when the App Store was quite different. But nonetheless, it's happened. But nowadays, yeah, I'm very passionate about using AI to help my development process. It's really been a game changer and an eye opener for me. We'll talk more about that. And last year, I'm a father of two. I've got a 1 year old and a 4 year old. No, the 4 year old's going to be five real soon, actually. And I also have a co-host on this call, so um, if you'll just give me a second. Hey, are you there?
Sure thing. My name is Cynthia, your AI co-host, here to support the Moyo AI community. I'm here to answer your questions, spark ideas, and help make this an engaging and productive session. Let's collaborate and create something amazing together. Let's
There
get
you
started.
go. That is perfect. So I'm joined on the call by Cynthia, who's of course ChatGPT's advanced voice mode. I just kind of wanted to share
Of
some of
course,
oop,
Cynthia or
some of the ways that I use the technology. I just started using advanced voice mode, but I'm finding it quite useful for mostly for brainstorming. But yeah, I think it's something that everybody should give a try. So in terms of, I'm just, are you guys seeing my screen, by the way? I didn't ask that.
Yes, we can.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Oh, I'm hoping, you know, and it's not blocked by a whole bunch of Zoom stuff, is it?
No, it's not.
Okay, cool. So, anyway, it's not like there's a whole lot to see. In terms of how I got started with AI, it's probably like a bunch of you guys. So, well, initially it was really in college. I I was a software engineering major, rather computer science major. I had one or two AI courses back then, but it was quite a different thing. So I was really reintroduced when first DALL-E came out, which was OpenAI's image generator, and then ChatGPT, and those, just it took the world by storm. It really changed just about everything about what we thought this tech could do, and that really got me interested in just looking around and seeing, okay, how am I going to find the value in this? What this can this do? How can this be? How can this be useful for me for business, for life, etc. Um, it wasn't until really recently when I came across this new group of entrepreneurs, many of them who are non-technical, uh, s- some of them quite young in high school or just having graduated. And while I'd seen a lot of demos from folks like Ethan Malik, geez, what happened? I'd seen a lot of demos from Malik, many other people on Twitter just showing all these what I would call just kind of party tricks. Um, what these folks were doing, they were using AI to actually build software, build apps, and then take it all the way, meaning market it, monetize it. Some of them are making hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars. Just a very nice, small, one person or group of people business. There was a kid I was talking to the other day. He lives right across the water from me in Jersey, and I think they have a team of about three of them, and they're working with 6 to 8 people who post content for them on TikTok. And these guys are bringing in, they have a similar app to mine, but they're just making a whole lot more money. So they're bringing in around like 300 to $400,000 a month, with that very small team. And well, I wouldn't say that I don't know that they built their thing entirely with AI, but they're AI aided, and they're folks that I know that have built their entire app just using ChatGPT or Claude or some of these other tools. So that fascinated me, and it just made me think, okay, if these guys can do that, then I definitely can. And I believe um anybody really, if they have the wherewithal to just stick with it, can build some really interesting stuff nowadays. So that's kind of how I see things. I see, and you guys can let me know if you agree or not. I feel like development has become a lot easier nowadays, and really the hard part becomes, let me choose the right thing to build and to work on. That's one. And then another piece is, let me make sure that I can actually distribute it. Am I going to get it out there using meta ads? Is it going to be TikTok or organic posts? Is it LinkedIn? There has to be some way of distributing it, right? But the development itself is way cheaper and it takes a lot less effort. In fact, while I came up programming, I'd really gotten away from it. And just having these tools, especially Claude AI, has just gotten me right back into it. Even though I've been in the app business since like, I want to say 2011. I think that's about right. Most of the time, for most of the work, I was depending on um, my teams. So developers and designers living in different countries. I still work with some of them to this day, but I'm able to just tighten the feedback loop with customers and just get a lot more work done myself and really just amplify what we all accomplish. So that's kind of where I see things going, at least in my part of the world. I'm curious what you guys think. Um, so just real quick before I get into the meat of what I want to do today, which is of course to one decide on what we're going to build, and start to build that on the call. So I just want to share some of the tools that I'm aware of and the ones that I use. I haven't used all of these just yet, but they're kind of all things that I've heard discussed, and I think that they're all useful. So Claude.ai is one of my favorites. It's a competitor to ChatGPT, but it's just way better when it comes to coding, I feel. I've heard that ChatGPT's O1 model is on par with Claude. I don't know if I believe that, on par when it comes to coding, but it's really great at coding. You're able to show it existing code. It can diagnose different errors. It can code an entire project for you if you break it down into small enough chunks. Um, but maybe when you're using it for development, it might be better for folks that know a little bit of code. Although I think one of the great things about this technology is that when you don't know things, you can just continue to ask more questions and get it to educate you while you're building. Everybody's heard of ChatGPT. I think advanced voice mode is worth checking out, for sure. Um, Actually, you know what? It's another opportunity. So, hey, Cynthia, would you mind explaining what advanced voice mode is? Every time I want this thing to,
Yes.
okay.
Advanced voice mode is a feature that lets you and I interact more naturally, just like having a real time conversation. It helps me understand your voice commands better and respond faster, making our exchange smoother and more dynamic. It's like having a seamless chat with your very own AI assistant.
All right, exactly. How about some of these other tools? Are you aware of, oops, are you aware of, here, for some reason, usually I can use my camera, but it's not allowing me to do that. So are you aware of V0?
Ah, I see what you're saying. If your camera isn't working as expected, it might be an app permission issue or a system glitch. As for V0, are you referring to a specific software version, platform, or project? Let me
Yeah,
know.
you know,
And I
in the interest of time. So V0, um, so V0 was initially just to help you design like user interfaces. So I'd be able to draw a picture of the app I want to create or the website software product I want to create. And then it just essentially turns that into working code that you can deploy and that you can use. Now, I think that I looked at it the other day. It looks like they've taken it further to where it's a competitor for some of these other tools below. And yeah, you still speak to it in natural language or pictures. When I say natural language, I just mean you can just talk to it. Well, I guess really type to it, and then it will build you things. So now I believe that they've gone beyond just making the user interface, and now they will actually make full software for you. You can fact check me on that because I didn't spend a long time in the interface. So Cursor does the same thing. You just write to it in natural language and using pictures, and then it will write code for you. I think that Cursor is kind of the leader in this space, and you can use it to create iOS apps, Android, all different kinds of things. I think it has a lot of flexibility in the sense that you're able to show it documentation for different languages if it doesn't happen to know the language, and it should be able to pick it up. Hey, um, there's bolt.new. So Bolt essentially does the same thing, but it's just browser based, and I think it's best at building web apps. It uses a technology called Next.js under the hood. Lovable, I haven't used. Nadine told me it's a no-code tool that uses AI to do the same sort of stuff. I checked out Windsurf a little bit. It seems to be it's doing the same kind of thing, but it appears to be geared towards more technically minded folks. So if that's you, you may want to check it out. And in one of my groups, I heard of rn.new. It's supposed to be really great for building cross-platform apps and doing it in a simple way. So there's just tons of different ways to get this stuff done nowadays. I think that this slide is probably worth taking a screenshot of if you haven't heard of any of these before. And I would just the biggest thing with these is just try it out because yeah, I think that some of them are quite easy to use and some of you might have thought, hey, I can't really build things yet, but I would argue that you're probably wrong about that. All right, so now I want to get into the meat of what I wanted to do. But actually, before I do that, um, so a couple of things I want to know about is I want to know how many folks on the call are actually building things in AI or interested in building. So if you're building, maybe you're building things, just give me a one in the chat. If you're interested in building things, you can give me a two. And if you I don't know, just find this stuff. You're just here because, I don't know, you're just generally interested in AI, then you can give me a three. Okay, cool. Got a lot of twos, one slash two, 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 three. All right, awesome, awesome. That gives me a lot of information. Then the other thing I want to know is I want to set up a place to congregate and just to have ongoing conversations. So, would people prefer like WhatsApp, Slack, What else is out there? I'm in a group that uses Discord. I found it really chaotic, but yeah, just let me know which platform you think would be the best. WhatsApp. All right. WhatsApp. Got two WhatsApp.
Mm.
Looks like WhatsApp is winning big time.
Mhm. Was denn? Dann zieh.
All right, cool. So yeah, so the like I said, the main thing that I want to do today, um, I wanted to put some pressure on myself, um, to start moving on this project. I think the best way is to just make it public and make it real. So I want to share with you guys. Well, essentially, I want to decide what it is that we're going to be building. Oh, Telegram, WhatsApp is good. Yeah, it looks like WhatsApp. WhatsApp is way in the lead. That's probably going to be the winner. So I want to share a couple of my ideas, maybe get your ideas as well. You know what?
Mhm.
It seems like they're actually not, it's a small enough group right now. I would love to just quickly go around the room to hear from everybody
Aber wir
who's
wissen
here.
nicht, ob er es war. Es könnte auch die Nala gewesen
Um,
sein, weißt du?
you could just give yourself a quick, you know, 30-second intro. And then after that, I'll share with you the three ideas I'm coming with. And if you guys, maybe you'll tell me you like one of the ideas or none of the ideas or share your ideas. And we can just come to a decision on what this is going to be. But okay, let me start to go around the room. Stop my share so I can see who's here. All right, I'm gonna start, and you can unmute yourself. David, I'm just going in the order that I see. Oops, I saw you unmuted for a second. Or can I just unmute everybody? Are you guys able to unmute yourselves? Let me know.
Yes, we can, Moya. We
Okay,
can.
cool. Hey, why don't you go first since since you got it working?
No. Well, I go by Ade. Ade Kunle is my full name. So just, I'm not sure. What was he asking again? Just like introduce
Just a
yourself.
quick intro. Maybe where you're from, just a little bit about yourself.
So born and raised in Nigeria, reside in Atlanta. Been in Atlanta the last 20 years. My background is in engineering, and then I moved more into project management, program management, portfolio management. I currently work at Meta, where I lead a bunch of cross-functional teams focused on infra projects and business improvements project. And then I recently just launched Foster, which is a community of Africans in big tech, with the goal of providing a community where we can connect, collaborate, and co-create. So happy to be here. Good conversation, Moya.
Thank you, thank you. Nadine.
Hello, Moya
Yep.
was saying you muted me.
Oh, my bad.
Hi, everybody. Nadine Matthews Blair. I currently live in Kingston, Jamaica. I started my own consulting company focused on AI, digital transformation, and strategy about a year ago. I am playing with the tools and looking to build a couple of things, nothing too complicated. And yeah, that's it.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you, Nadine. Um, Barbara, are you able to unmute yourself?
Yes, I'm able to unmute myself.
All
Hi,
right.
everyone. I'm Barbara Kwam. I'm born and raised in Cameroon, currently reside in Houston, Texas. My background is mostly in management consulting, accounting, finance, business transformations. I am very process oriented, always looking for the easiest, shortest, and most efficient way to achieve pretty much anything. Um, I recently created my consulting firm really to be more intentional about the types of projects that I take on board and also carve some more time for my family. And I have a couple of ideas in terms of still in the realm of efficiencies and decision making. And I'm thinking AI is going to make the whole process a lot more efficient. Really
Yeah,
excited.
I definitely think you'll find that. So that sounds really good. Thanks for being here. Oh yeah, I guess one thing I'll add, it would be great to hear what you want to get out of this experience as well, for all the rest of the people going. So I think the next person is Ayodeji.
Um, I just knew you were gonna call me next. Hello everyone. Can everyone hear me okay?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Hi everyone. My name is Ayodeji. I go by Ayo, and I'm a product manager, senior product manager at Home Depot right now, leading the search team. Uh, I've been I've been around the city or the block, as they say, Nike, Meta, and whatever. My interest, I'm definitely interested in AI for three reasons. First of all, is definitely to upskill myself as a product manager, learning how to build AI tech products. Second is leading the search team. I wanted to see how AI can help me build AI search products when you're looking at conversational search, RAG, and all the rest. So trying to learn that technology. And the third would be, okay, now four reasons. The third would be to just be a leader in this field, to be able to impact the same knowledge that I learned from my experiences as I build AI tech products to younger generation or even just our community, just like Foster. And the fourth thing is I also invest in real estate on the side, and I'm trying to learn how to use AI to be more efficient in investing and also building a community or a product that democratize real estate investment for young professional like everyone in the foster community. So those are like my four goals when it comes to AI.
Oh, that's really cool, man. Thank you for being here and thank you for sharing. So next I see Emma.
Hi, everyone. Hi, my name is Emma. I actually also born and raised in Cameroon. I'm currently based in the Seattle area. I work for Microsoft as a technical program manager. Actually, I made a switch to data science about a couple years ago and currently working with AI products. One of my goals right now is just to make sure, like, I stay upskill, stay up to date with all the new technology. And I'm also exploring way of creating my side business. So I'm really excited to learn about what you guys are doing and potentially see if, I can, who knows, maybe there could be some kind of collaboration down the road in the future. Anyway, I'm really excited to be here.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm also I would love to see that as well. I think that for me, like I said, I think with the development becoming so much easier, um, I think that like I said, identifying the right problem to solve, the right problem to work on just becomes that much more critical. And I think that being able to tap into different people's expertise and experience is just so invaluable. So I definitely hope that that can happen here and, some other communities that I belong to as well. So Sandy, next is Sandy.
I think she's typing in the chat.
Got it, got it. Okay, so I'll read it for Sandy. So Sandy has a background in finance, hedge funds, corporate banking, in between gigs right now, and been training AI bots in math for the past few months. Oh yeah, for anybody who's just joining, my camera's off because my Wi-Fi is on the fritz today. I'm running it through my phone. Let me try it again. Before it was just glitching like crazy. Well, yeah, so that is why my camera's off. So yes, and Sandy has been training AI bots in math for the past few months. I think that's really cool. Can't talk right now. No problem. No problem. Next after Sandy, Jared. Or is it Jared or Gerard? I forgot. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. It's Jared. So I'm actually on the train headed to the airport right now. So based here in New York, um working currently and investing in startups, so investing in black founders and fintech future work and what is it, healthcare, and then looking to learn more about how to actually build agents and bots kind of over the next 6 months.
Yeah, me too. I think that's one thing I didn't talk about it all during my brief thing, but I think agents are just going to be so huge. It's going to affect a lot of things. So I'm right with you there. Next up is Shao. Hopefully I'm saying your name correctly.
You're seeing it perfectly. Thank you.
Yes, all right.
Let me see if I can maybe turn on my camera. Uh, Hi. I
Hi.
think I might be the only person from Europe. Anyway,
Maybe
I'm
I'm not sure,
originally
but
from China and currently based in Vienna, Austria. Have a background in management consulting and also spent quite some time in enterprise SaaS companies doing mostly corporate strategy, corporate development, finance, operations. Have been focusing on data management the last couple of years and feel like the world is changing a lot. And never been in a technical role, but I've always been very good at kind of thinking up stuff and writing pseudocode for other people to implement. And now I feel like this beat might be a good time to learn how to build stuff myself. And it's just becoming a lot easier. So yeah, just I don't know. I think I came across your post through Ketaway, who is a classmate of mine,
awesome.
and
Thank you.
kind of randomly stumbled on this and thought it looked really interesting. So excited
Awesome.
to be here and meet like-minded people to build something together, maybe even.
Yeah, I'm super glad to have you here. Thank you to
Mhm.
Ketaway. And maybe she can go next. And I'll just say, you mentioned that this might be the right time for you to jump on. I would say definitely, and it's a particular story I saw from somebody with the same background as you who was working. I guess he previously worked as a general manager in tech, and
Mhm.
he built his first app using AI, and this thing ended up being an app that is now pulling in like $5 million a year. And
All right.
um, obviously that had a lot to do with the marketing as well, but he was able to build a product that people actually like using. It's providing them value. Um,
Mm-hmm.
he never coded before. So yeah, I would say that you're absolutely doing the right thing right now, in my opinion.
Cool. No, it definitely is exciting. So
Yeah.
yeah, adding value without too much technical skills.
Yep, yep. It is very possible right now. So
Mhm. Cool.
um next yeah, we mentioned you, so yep.
Hi. Yeah.
I'd be happy to go next. And I'm so glad that I was able to, with my small little network, pull in an additional person. So thanks for coming. Why am I here? So a little bit of background. My background is mainly in consulting, technology consulting first at Deloitte, and then management consulting at Bain. And then I went into quote unquote business and found myself in the product space, and I've really enjoyed it and loved it. So right now I lead product at a company called Cardis. It's a talent mobility company. I'd never heard of talent mobility before joining the company myself, but it's basically if your company needs to move you either permanently or for a short-term assignment, Cardis is the organization that manages the benefits and the delivery of service for helping you get moved to where you need to be. But the reason I'm here is actually a side business that I started with two colleagues from my previous company. We have a marketing, kind of a marketing services company for the multifamily real estate space. And we have a business where we have a product that we deliver to property management companies basically that manage large apartment buildings. And it's effectively an audit of their property, and we are doing it manually now. And it's a high margin product, as you can imagine, because it's three of us doing this, and we can command a pretty good margin on it, but we can't scale. And so we're trying to figure out how we can scale using AI, both to help develop technology platform that we think we need, but also potentially scale as like people actually executing the audit. And so I have a full-time job. My two co-founders are working full-time. And so I probably won't be the one fingers to keyboard trying to figure out how to do the dev, but I'm here representing that company to see if there's a way that we can use AI to help us scale our business. And that company is called markerheads.co. That's our company.
Very cool. Yeah, I'd imagine that there's going to be a way that you guys can kind of leverage something. Just with all the things coming out now, that there's got to be.
Yeah. Yeah. But
Uh,
thanks for doing this. Happy to be here.
yeah, my pleasure. I'm getting more and more excited about it. So I think next person I see on my screen is Ruben.
Hey everyone, so Ruben Cummings. I run a data analytics consulting company called Narevu Group. I have a dev background. Um, I've experimented a little bit with agentic systems, LangChain, um, and then I used a couple others, and just really interested in the whole concept of how you can kind of go from start to finish doing everything with AI. So I've used AI a bit. I've used Claude just to kind of create a few modules here and there. Used it for a lot of writing tasks, both Claude and ChatGPT. And I use Copilot when I'm doing development, uh, sometimes just to kind of create a function here or there. But I've never used AI to kind of build something all the way. So hearing you say that a guy with no experience created an app that's pulling millions a year, that's just mind blowing to me. So yeah, just kind of interested in seeing where this goes.
Yeah, absolutely. It blew my mind as well. And then I saw it like three or four more times. Said, all right, enough, enough. All right. No, thank you for being here. We've got Jarvis next. Just a couple more.
Hey, how you doing? My name is Jarvis Buckman. Grew up in Miami, Florida, live in New York now, moved here so many years ago to go to college. My background is in industrial engineering, but while I was in college, I discovered that Wall Street was a thing, so I kind of got that bug and started working in structured products in the early 2000s, and has since iterated to nowadays I work with this product set called litigation finance. What piqued my interest into joining the call is just that, I've been hearing a lot about AI and how you can use it to drive efficiency. I'm in the process of trying to build out my own investment business, so Things like having AI take notes on calls and things of that nature, things that I've figured out how to do, but I'm trying to figure out if there's more I should be doing in order to kind of help enhance my productivity. So that's my interest in this.
No, that's great. And yeah, I'm quite sure you'll be able to find some ways. So next we have Tochi and then last but not least, Ryan.
Hey everyone, Tochi here. I'm based out of Houston. My background is tech consulting. Moved into customer success with enterprise uh, SaaS, pretty much. And I currently work with this company called UiPath. They are known for automation and AI. But I do that as a customer success manager. So I'm mostly on the business side, helping set up the program. So I've been exposed to automation and AI, but more on the programmatic side of just setting up the strategy, understanding the value, helping build a pipeline of activities. But I've never really been ingrained in building. So I would say that curiosity is the major driver bringing me here. Curious to learn and also see how ideas can come to life on the product side and how AI can help make that happen. Yeah, so excited to be here and to learn along with the rest of y'all.
Very cool. Thank you for being here. And I do think, well, I think and hope it will be useful. So, Ryan. Oh, there we go.
Hey, Mo. Sorry, I'm at an airport lounge. It's pretty hectic, so I apologize for any ambient noise, everybody. First, Mo, thanks for hosting. I'm ex finance now in the startup tech space. I've transitioned about 10 years ago. So as a career, as a builder of things with a career that has spanned several industries and functions, I'm interested in leveraging and learning AI agents and new frontier tech to just create and build things that'll make our lives more efficient, more cost effective, more entertaining. Everything that tech does for us. Um, use LLMs. Very familiar with how they work. I've observed agents. I have not put anything to use yet. Um, and I'm looking forward to what we're going to do here today. And great to meet everyone.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, thank you, everybody. So, yeah, I think I got everyone. If not, raise a hand and let me know. Um, so yeah, next, I kind of wanted to just share the different ideas I have of what to build. Um, no, normally when I'm choosing a project, I think a lot about what the demand in the marketplace is, and then I go look at competition, and do all that sort of stuff. Um, I really haven't done that in this case. Well, at least from my, let me think. I've done a little bit, but some of these are just things that I think are interesting. But yeah, I'd be curious to hear from you guys too. So the first one was a negotiation app. And so what I had in mind with this and how this idea kind of came about, or you know what, let me give them all to you first. So first was negotiation. The second one was around language learning, but making it conversational. And then the third one was a public speaking coach. Now, if you have any initial reactions, feel free to jump in. But I guess I can kind of give you my thinking on each of these. Uh, man, I lost I'm always losing the images. Okay, you know what? When I share my screen, I just can't see anybody anymore. Um, oh, here we go. Yeah, so in terms of all right, I can see everybody now. So in terms of the negotiation app, so how that came about was I'd seen some examples, that some kids built. So one of them is an app I talk about all the time. So they were using they essentially once ChatGPT's camera function came out, where you were able to share screenshots or share images and it could interpret them. They then applied that to dating and to Tinder and would just take text messages of what was happening in the Tinder chat, show it to ChatGPT, and then allow ChatGPT to come up with what the person should be saying next to get the best response. And I guess if you didn't like the response it gave you, you could ask for another response. I haven't used the app, so this is anecdotal, but um, I guess what was interesting to me about this and a lot of these other apps is that most of the magic that is happening is not anything that the person building the app is actually doing. It's all delivered by the large language model. Like, the whole aha moment and most of the value is just delivered by ChatGPT via the API. But the person building the app just kind of presents it in a package that makes it um, easier or more enjoyable or more straightforward to use. So I started to think about, I said, okay, this dating thing is not really relevant to me. I've been married for 7 years now. But what are some situations in my life where, what do I care about? What are my issues? Um, and for me, I think negotiation is quite useful in many instances. If I'm living in an apartment building, they want to raise the rent on me. I've had conversations where I've saved myself hundreds of dollars a month just by saying the right thing. So, what if an app could help me with any type of situation like that? Or, I got a parking ticket I don't want to pay. I understand there's an app called Do Not Pay that is catered to just that. So I think you kind of get the idea. There's just so many negotiations in life. The salary negotiations, sometimes you have the ability to make yourself, depending on the role, just a whole lot of money by oh, I see a hand, so uh let me go ahead. So yeah, unmute yourself.
Yeah, I think as we were talking, I just got an idea that just popped in my head. We all know about the Californian fires that's been going on.
Yep.
And also, as I mentioned, I invest in real estate, and I just actually had one of my claims denied for one of my properties, and I was very irritated because before I did that, I called one of my adjuster friends to go through my policy to say, okay, how can I really file this claim so that they don't deny this claim? Then I texted a friend of mine who lives in LA, and I was like, hey, hope you're okay, blah blah blah. Hope you have insurance and all of that. And he said he did. He spent 5 hours reading through his insurance policy to make sure that like the insurance company don't try and deny his claim when he files it. So as we're talking right now and we're talking about negotiations, I was just thinking to myself, it'd be nice to maybe try and build something that can go through like contracts to say what our contract is saying. We all know they all joke around terms and policy or terms and conditions
Hmm.
documents that nobody reads. So it'd be nice a document or contract like insurance policies where it goes straight to let you know what you're covered for or how best you can apply or file a claim. So that just popped up in my head as you were talking through.
Yeah,
Looking at
that makes a lot of sense to me because there's so many things that you just sign or click the button on, and you really don't know what's happening, but it's just
True.
it would take you entirely too much time to read. Okay, yeah, policies. I'm gonna say read through policies. How would you summarize the name? I'm not sure about. Contracts.
I don't have a name for it. I
Like
just
terms and conditions or something
Yeah.
else.
uh, So yeah, I'll say terms and conditions summarizer. Oh, that is not the correct word. All right, that's cool. That's cool. And yeah, I feel like something like that would be pretty straightforward to build. And yeah, I think that a lot of people would want to use it. Okay, cool. Thank you, man. Um, so yeah, I think I'm more or less. Does everybody kind of get where I was going with the negotiation one?
Totally.
Okay, cool. So the next one, I just heard one person. I said, all right, good enough for me. The next, you speak for the group. Um, the next one was conversational language learning. So the way this one came about, well, one thing is, I've been into apps for a while, and I know that Duolingo is huge, and Babbel is another huge one. I mean, probably a lot of people are aware that um, these apps are huge businesses. Um, and what kind of came to mind for me, um, so a lot of times when people are talking about learning languages, they say that the best thing is to just go live in a country where they speak that language and just kind of immerse yourself in it, have conversations, develop relationships, maybe have a friend that's speaking to you all the time in that language. And it just made me think, okay, now it could be possible. Of course, that's already possible, and people do that with language teachers, but that's expensive, and you can only do it when the teacher is available. So what if I could just have a friend that would speak to me anytime in the language I'm trying to learn, and this friend is also able to kind of calibrate themselves to where I'm at. So when I can't speak the language at all, they're going to speak to me mostly in English or whatever my language is. And as I get better, they'll do less and less, and we'll just be having conversations. And hopefully they'll be able to adapt to what's going on, and make it more interesting so that we're not just having textbook kind of lessons, but we're talking about, events going on. We're talking about my day and that sort of thing. So I'll stop there. Thoughts? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm gonna chime in because I use Duolingo. I think I'm maybe 800 or something days in, and I think I realized after about a year that I wasn't learning, and uh, it's like I was just maintaining the streak, and it was opposite of what I wanted to do. I wanted to learn the language, and I decided I was going to get a coach. But you're right, expensive, right? Some people even say look, go to meetups and find groups.
Right.
But you got to find those groups. You got to find the time. But you're right, like having it easily accessible would be great on your phone. So this is really a great idea. I will say that I have seen some how these folks target us, but I've seen some things on Instagram, like something similar to this. So one thing I would suggest is, but I like the conversational piece of it. I don't think I've heard about that where it's they meet you at your level, or and then as you advance, it gets more complex or whatever, and it grows with you. If there, so I would add if there's a possibility to correct or um, you know provide guidance. So maybe you're trying to say something like, hey, let's imagine the name of whatever the AI is. And this is how I'm imagining it, unless it's different from what you have in mind. Let's say the name of the AI is Brad. You're like, hey, Brad, how do you say um, eat in Spanish, for example? And it tells you, and then you repeat the sentence using the word it gave you. Or if you kind of mixed up something, it would ask you maybe in English, like, are you trying to say this? If you're trying to say this, like, so I
Right,
guess the
right.
whole point of what I'm saying is also the opportunity to correct and
Yeah.
help you figure out what you're trying to say. Yeah, but it's a
Yeah.
great idea. I like it. I like it because I will personally benefit from it.
Yeah. So what you said about I've heard the same thing as you from different people that it just kind of turns into a game where you're not necessarily accomplishing your goal. No, that's and yeah, I think that if it were to become for it to be useful, it would have to do what you were talking about in terms of giving some guidance and especially when you're a complete novice. Otherwise, you're just going to be staring at the screen and you're not going to use it. Okay. So the third one was a speaking coach, and I forget exactly when that one hit me, but I guess maybe it was just thinking about different audiences, and um, just thinking about how many people fear public speaking or want to improve in speaking. And again, that's an area where if you want to hire a professional, they're out there, but they're expensive. You have to find the time, book the time. So, if you were just able to have something that would be in your pocket, you can pull it out. If you're preparing for a presentation, you can give your presentation to it. It will give you feedback and pointers, maybe talk about how you should be holding your hands or talk about your body posture and things like that, or just give you all different kinds of feedback. The thing that kind of appealed to me about this one is that there's the opportunity, like let's say it's something that's targeted more to business people or executives. Like if it's good, that's then willingness to pay is a lot different from um I don't know, just something that's just targeting the mass population, right? Because um yeah, I think the point's kind of made there, but I'll stop. Let me know your thoughts. And yeah, I think that's all I have for today as far as my different things to work on. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. If anybody else has anything else, then let me know that as well. Oh, I just noticed that there's stuff in the chat. Let me stop the share so that I can see this better. Uh,
Maybe one closing thought. I just playing the devil's advocate a bit. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of those use cases you could probably use the generic model and get like okay-ish results, right? Like feed some documents to, let's say, Google Notebook LM or whatever, right? And have some TNCs kind of summarized and linked to the source, whatever. But the question is, when you build something new, it would need to be so much better, right, than what you get from a free generic tool.
oh, I'm glad you said that. So what you said is absolutely right. Like for all of these things, you can definitely just use, Chat GPT or Claude. For most of them. For most of them, you can use it for at least part of it, right? So what happens is, and that's just it's true of so many different things. Um, so I think what happens is that if you're in a group like this or in a group that's very tech forward or very much paying attention to AI, then you kind of get the impression that everybody is and everybody uses these things, everybody's comfortable with it. And it's just not true. So, um, The
That's a good
example,
point. Thanks.
yeah. So the example I gave before of the app for dating, um, there are a few of those that are all making millions of dollars. And that use case, people can really just use ChatGPT and do this exact same thing. It's just they would have to have the they would have to know that they could do it. They would have to have the inclination, and it doesn't feel like it's something that should be used for that. People don't come. Most people don't come into ChatGPT. There probably are people who do that and have done that. Maybe that person is doing that, and so they decide to make it. But the vast majority of people just will want. They'll say, "Okay, I'm going to use the thing that is for that," right?
And
So
I'll add one more thing, Moya, if you don't mind. The
sure.
other thing is, even if you do know to go to ChatGPT, not everyone is a good prompt engineer, so they don't know what to ask
Yeah.
specifically to get the results back. And that's the other thing that the application layer does. It basically takes in the generic information and turns it into the appropriate prompt.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
true. You serve it bite size, right?
Yep. And then you're also able to hopefully make it into a better experience, just a more streamlined thing, so that I can just come in, do exactly what I want to do, and then go. You know what I mean? And I'm not like fumbling around with this interface that wasn't specifically made. It's for something broader than the narrow goal I'm trying to accomplish. So I think for
Yeah.
almost all of these apps that people would call GPT wrappers, isn't it? Like some people use it in a derogatory way, say, "Oh, that's just a wrapper app." It's true, but they still provide value to a lot of customers, and they still do quite well on the market as long as they're done well.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
I
No,
think,
no, I totally get it. Yeah. It's
yeah,
like
yeah,
making it more consumable
yeah,
by
yeah, and
audiences that wouldn't otherwise consume it, I guess.
right, for sure. And there's also there are opportunities to do things that are more um complicated, but sometimes when you do those things, like one thing that I wouldn't personally do is try to compete with OpenAI or Anthropic or anything. It's like that's a game that they're raising tens of billions of dollars kind of thing. So it's like these models are going to keep getting better and better. So I would love to create things that will get better for free as a result of those models getting better.
Yeah, and leverage what's there, right?
Yeah, but there's multiple ways to go about it. Um, all right, so yeah, I would love thoughts, votes. We have four different things out there. Anybody leaning any particular way? Any other ideas? Do you just want me to call it? Let me know.
So it's about voting on the four options.
Yeah. Or maybe,
Can you maybe put it in the chat again? Sorry.
yeah. Sorry. And let me throw that back up on the screen too. Sorry for running long. If anybody needs to drop, no worries. We can always pick it up later, offline kind of thing.
To build negotiation app, conversational language learning, public speaking app,
I would be for the
sciences.
negotiation app.
What's that?
No, I would vote for the negotiation app. What do you want us to vote in the chat?
Yeah. I guess voting let me see if I can put together a poll. I think Zoom lets me do that, right? Um, or you can you can type in the chat which one.
Can you give the numbers and like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then if we can get like a poll, we can just say four,
Yeah,
two, three.
let me do that.
You can change at the top right, and
Yeah,
instead of bullets, you
uh,
do numbers.
yeah, I have this Zoom thing in front of my screen, right? Move this out of the way. It's just blocking me. Okay, there we go. There we go.
So do you want us to rank them or give points, or what's your preferred
Oh,
kind of
good point.
format?
So yeah, I guess you can. I should have thought this through, but yeah, you can rank them or just, I guess any that you're interested in, you can rank or 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 if it's just one, you can just give the number.
Or we could do hands raised. Like if you say if you're voting for this hands, like raise hands, you take a count, and then we just run through all four.
Got it, got it. Oh, okay. You know what? I like what Katiwe did, which was just to put them in order of your preference. Mm, mm, mm. Okay, so we got 1, 4, 2, 3. We got 4. We got 1, 2, 4, 3, 4, 1, 2,
These
4.
now you have to weigh them.
Yeah. Yeah, hold on. Let me get a open up a little sheet here. Mm, two. Is this the right way to do it? 3. So is this the right way to do it here? To let me yes.
I would recommend that you separate the words and the numbers so that you can sum them up later.
Yeah, good point. You
Maybe that's an idea for the next app too.
right.
Yes.
Very true. So this is okay. So let's see what we got here in the chat. So we got 1/4, 1/4. I really should have thought about this before. 1, 2, 4, 3, 4132. I probably could have done this with AI too, right? 4132. Um, 4123. Did I do? Oh wait, I think I just counted that one wrong. So 4123. Okay, 3214. 3, 2, 4. All right, thank you, Barbara. 4123. And 1342. Okay. So let's see. So let's do a sum here. So these are the ideas, these are the points. So equal all the B's. I think I did that right, but I'm not sure. Did that look like I did that right? If anybody was watching.
Next week, Friday, 24th.
Okay. So according to what I'm seeing here, it looks like the negotiation app was first, followed by terms and conditions, followed by what was my third one? Followed by public speaking, followed by language learning. Okay, so you know what? I'm gonna open it up to the whole group later, but yeah, let's start. I thought it would be good to just, as promised, just start to build this. And also I think that would be helpful for a lot of people just to see this kind of stuff in action. So, can you guys, can you still see my screen?
Yes.
All right, cool. As long as we're building number one, I'm good. Okay, cool. So, this tool, this one of the tools I mentioned earlier, this one's called bolt.new. It doesn't it doesn't build, well, I guess it specializes in building web apps and it uses Next.js. Um, so I'm just gonna start building in here just to give you guys an idea. So um, I'm gonna tell it, hey, I want to build an app to, gonna, sorry, I'm just hearing somebody's conversation, so let me mute. Oh, that might be my auntie. So I'm telling it, I want to build an app to help the user with negotiations. Um, this could mean a salary negotiation, a parking ticket, a rent increase, anything that might come up in life. Um, so what else would I want to give it? Oh, and so just to also share, right now I'm just jumping directly into like, hey, make me an app. But another way to go about this would be to first, and this will often get you better or more predictable results, is to just design what you want the experience to look like first. So I could, I could sketch this out using, I could use Google Slides as well if I wanted to, and just make some boxes and make buttons in there. That would work fine. I could draw it with pencil and paper, or I could use something like use a V0 as a tool that's specifically designed for that. Or if I know how to use Figma or Photoshop, I could do it there. And once I have the design, then I could talk to the tool about how to create the actual functionality. But right now, I'm not doing that. Right now, I'm just gonna see what it comes up with. So, want to build an
Hey,
app?
sorry, quick
Sure.
question. So
Yeah.
when you say you use Figma, like all those other apps to get like a, I forget the technical term, but to kind of like have a straw man of what you want, do
Yeah.
you upload it on there or okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So you
Okay.
do. So, I think, is it right here? So this allows me to just upload files. Clicking that button, I can upload. I think it takes image files and probably text files.
Okay.
I don't think any of them take video file, but yeah, you just give it the file and it interprets it, and it usually does a pretty good job. So let's see, what else do we want to say to it this about this app? So it's I mean, I bet it could already start to create it. Oops, some the user, I'm going to say the user should be able to um share how the counterparty. So I haven't given it a whole lot. Does anybody have anything else they think I should tell this before we get started. When the October negotiation, what to say?
Well, suggest a name for this app too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What would you call it?
No.
It's no all this stuff is very changeable. Like this version, I'm sure isn't gonna be the one that we use. It's more so just to demonstrate.
That way we'll start calling it negotiation app. We'll just call it by the name for
Okay,
now. I'm
yeah,
just kidding.
Yeah, maybe ask it to suggest a name. I don't know.
Yeah.
okay, sure. So we were,
Maybe
oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, do we at this stage need to tell the prompt like what user input we would want the person to enter, or is that like at a later stage? Because I was
No,
thinking like if there's a specific focus that the user wants the app to focus on, like I want to focus on confidence in negotiation, or I want to focus on, I don't understand the legalities of it. Help me there. I
got
don't
it,
know.
got
Like,
it.
is there input?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So I think the more context that you can give these tools, the closer to your vision it's going to
Mm-hmm.
deliver. So
Yeah.
I think it would make sense to give it as much as possible. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I'll include some stuff on that. So let's see. So I'm gonna say in addition to providing, oops. Can you give me that again?
Like, I guess let the user tell the app what area they need the most help with, I
Got
guess,
you.
is what I was trying to get at.
Got you. Yeah. The other thing about this is it's a very iterative thing. So it's like it will give you something, and then you can say, "Oh, this is totally wrong. We need to fix that." And but you'll see. So I'm gonna start with that just for argument's sake. All right. So right now it's just going to work and creating a bunch of different files and doing the thing. So let's see what it does. And it's probably not going to be functional right now because I'd imagine, oh, nice. So I'd imagine it's going to need an API key in order to work. Although, you know what? I could probably slide mine in there. So I'm seeing on the screen. Okay. So can I make this larger? Oops. I did not. Oh. I was just trying to get the preview. I didn't really want to see the code. I just wanted to see the preview. There we go. All right. So nice. It gave us a brain icon. I kind of like that. Looks pretty clean. So it's giving us a field to give the objective of the negotiation. Um, and I can choose the type of negotiation. Ideal outcome. Okay. Huge raise. Um, okay. Situation. Um, So end of year review is coming up. To raise salary 40%. Um, so I need to prepare. That's realistic, right? Um, yes, please. Okay, so it's just giving me a stock answer right now. I think it's because it's not actually tapping into the AI. So all it's done for us is just create the UI. But hold on one second. Okay, I didn't even read what it told me about it. So it says created a modern professional, blah blah blah. Left sidebar for setting negotiation objectives. Da, 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 da. Okay. Need to add the actual API calls to get AI responses. Okay. All right. Oh wow. It's about 3:30. So I think I'm going to wrap it up for today pretty soon. But I think hopefully that gives you guys a flavor of where we're going. So I think the next step I would take on this is to just ask it to walk me through making the app actually walk me, whoop, make it's actually functional. You see, so now it's telling me what I actually need to do. You know, it'll probably tell me, hey, you need to copy your key from OpenAI and paste it in blah blah blah. But that's essentially, how you start doing it. So before we wrap up, I just wanted to, I guess what I would love is, um, I just want to know that people have what they need to be able to kind of start building. I hope you're seeing that it's pretty accessible and pretty easy. So yeah, we'd just love to hear some thoughts.
No, I think this was really, really very, very helpful. I think we shouldn't stop here. I don't mean like today. We can stop today for sure, or I think we should actually try and see this to the end of
Oh yeah,
let's
yeah.
say maybe
That
next
that that's
Friday or 2 weeks, and we can just come back and try and iterate this and see how we can like you can see like 0 to 1 from us just ideating to creating a functional app. So because I'm really intrigued to see how it's giving suggestions to the left of what we need to do uh, to see how much of like coding knowledge or programming knowledge you need to make it functional.
Absolutely. So, I absolutely intend, it's actually part of the promise. This app is going live, is going to market, it's going to be on sale. I mean, it'll be a free app, but it will have purchase it because all of these, anytime you're working with these AI services, they all charge you. So it's like you really do have to monetize in some way just for it to be sustainable. So we're building a real thing here.
Awesome,
Um,
awesome. I think, yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yep.
One thing I was just wondering in terms of kind of because I come from the data side of things, right? And it's
Yep.
like garbage in, garbage out. I mean, how like maybe I'm going too far at this point, but in terms of making sure that output is actually helpful and of high quality, you would need to train it on the right data, right? And how would you actually go about getting good data for negotiation um, advice? I mean, that's not copyrighted.
Got it, got it. Yeah, I think so I think you're right for down the road. I think for the kind of the minimum viable product, I think it's good enough to um I think how I would approach it is to just say, okay, um OpenAI has trained on the entirety of, they say they've trained on the entire internet at this point. I heard one of these billionaire guys talking about how the fact that they're essentially going to be out of training data this year, or they might essentially they've already trained on everything there is to like all of human knowledge, right? So I would just consider that okay, that's good enough for me for a start. Of course, it would be better if we can just focus our training set on negotiations only, but um, essentially we'll have to just see how it performs. We'll put it through the paces and kind of go through a beta period and see, hey, is this thing working well enough? And we have to decide what well enough is. Um, And then I guess after that, then you have different ways of moving forward. So it could be you're asking people for permission to like train on their negotiations, which may be dicey. I think that would turn a lot of people off, right? Or you're just finding another way to source the
Or
data.
just rank kind of the helpfulness of the
Oh,
output,
yes,
right?
yes, yes. I think that could be good. At least that would give you some signal. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good minimal way to start.
Mm-hmm.
So
Cool.
even
Yeah.
if we're not understanding what it is that they asked for maybe I guess maybe the data that we can collect is we're seeing what type of negotiation were they doing it for, and then they can also give a rank. Was this helpful, yes or no, or have it on some kind of scale. Then maybe we start seeing, okay, it's performing great on salary negotiations, but it sucks as far as parking tickets or something like that. So yeah, I think that might be a way to go.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And anytime I see legal, I'm kind of getting like cold feet, thinking we
Yeah,
would need to have some kind of liability insurance.
yeah, that's a really good point. It can get dicey. I I guess I can do some research into how that's been approached by folks. I do get like I get very nervous um whenever it's things where there's no room for errors or for
Mhm.
the AI to be wrong. And so I think there's got to be some type of language in it that is saying I don't this I don't know it's kind of putting it like this is eh, I don't know. It's this is advice, but it's like you still have to make your own decision kind of thing. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know what the proper legal, so it's like, yeah, you really do need to consult somebody who knows what they're talking about. But yeah, that'll have to be done at a
This is
certain
for
point.
educational purposes only, knowing what it
Yeah,
is.
that type of language. I'm sure people are encountering this issue a lot.
And start co-founding a business, and we didn't have the money to hire a lawyer for like our T's and C's and stuff. And I actually used GPT to give me legal language. I always cross-check it with, Googling other people's legal
Yeah,
language, but
yeah.
the disclaimers and things like that, I find that AI is actually pretty good at writing a draft for you. Um, that my legal friends have been like, yeah, that's like good enough to pass the snuff test.
Right, right. Yeah.
Nice.
I'll be honest. As a scrappy entrepreneur, you just do a lot of you do a lot of things like that, and you just try to make sure that your intent is in the right place and you're doing the best that you can. And it's the kind of thing that, okay, if you get to the point where this thing is really doing well, then you try to get more mature and grow up. But yeah, it's just kind of the it's the truth of it. It's the nature of the business. All right. So, um, I think I'm good. So, does anybody else have anything else before we end off? Yeah, it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure.
Thank
So,
you. Yeah,
thank you
no,
guys
it's
for
been fun.
attending the first jam session.